So what'd you do this weekend?
I went camping this weekend. It was awesome. Yeah, it was a total technology disconnect. Most of it was by choice, but part of it was because AT&T's network is really terrible out there.
And in here.
Yeah, exactly. It was funny because we told the kids, other than Google Maps, there was going to be no technology. I did not remember to bring any board games or anything with us.
Oh, no.
And the kids ended up begging for playing cards on the first night. And my brother-in-law, just for whatever reason, just to give them a hard time, was like, you can only spend $3 on playing cards. So the only thing they could buy was low-vision playing cards from Walgreens. They were $2.99.
Oh, and the big giant ones?
Well, the cards are the normal size, but the lettering and numbering on them is so big that there's no hiding your cards when you're playing any game of cards there. And for 10 people, a pack of 52 cards is not enough.
Did you teach them not to wear mirrored sunglasses while they play? Looks cool, but you're going to lose.
They played 2 hands, and then they're like, this is dumb. Everyone can see our cards. So it was really funny.
Nice.
Hello, and welcome to the next episode of It's Your Time to Shine, a podcast about being a mom in a modern world. I'm in the studio today with our audio engineer, Dave Brown, and we're just talking about the perils of potty training and technology with young children. This brings to mind a previous podcast in our archive where we talked about the same topic. Let's listen in. But it was awesome, and I kind of felt like the whole social media trap that we fall into from time to time of even as adults, just getting on social media and going into this rabbit hole of looking at post after post and scrolling just to be able to break the habit is actually really difficult. It took a full day to just stop looking at our phones. And we had no service, so I have no idea why we were looking at our phones.
It's just habit.
Yeah.
You do it every single day. You just get in the habit of doing it. Can't stop.
Yeah, exactly. And I felt bad for my kids because if you think about it, when we were their age, we had so many opportunities to play outside, so many games to play. I mean, we would just play with sticks, right? Or play with a ball or a Frisbee.
Yeah, and that was great. Somehow, that was amazing.
Yeah, and I don't know, now kids like to get them to ride their bikes or to go outside and play actual kickball or football. It's just I'll do it later, or nobody else wants to play. It's trying to you need a little social media campaign just to get everybody on the street to get out there and coordinate playing time.
And what parent is going to let their kids go outside unsupervised for any length of time? I can't send my daughter out to take the trash out without being worried.
Yeah, that's actually me, so I shouldn't even laugh at that. When my kids go to check the mail, which is maybe 5 houses away, I'm like, take your dog with you, as if that's going to provide any protection at all.
Not your dog.
No.
No.
Not Bailey, the cat dog. She's definitely not going to do anything. But, I felt bad for our kids because this whole being without technology, it made me we really, we connected on a different level. And I've said this before. I've said this to Lisa as well. I always say that I wish they wouldn't grow up as fast as they are growing up. And I wish I could do it all over again. But having spent the last 3 days camping, you know what I'm happy to not do again?
What?
Potty training. It's ridiculous.
I have to agree. We're right in the thick of it right now with my youngest. So, yeah, I feel your pain.
Yeah, how's that going?
It's going all right. She's doing really well at the daycare, so I'm told. I think there's an element of peer pressure there because we get these reports that she is just every time she's on it. But all of that goes out the window as soon as she gets home.
She's on what, the toilet?
Yeah. She's on the roof.
At some point, you think oh, maybe your child will be uncomfortable. But as we know, some kids are just totally fine with it.
Yeah, and I'm wondering when she grows out of that phase. Once she's maybe a little uncomfortable with it, then I'm hoping that she'll just kind of kick herself in the butt. But
I feel like I have a bunch of friends whose kids are turning 3, and something about the number 3, maybe it's preschool or something. They're all how did you potty train your kids? And I was really lucky with my first. She potty trained she was a year, and
Wow.
she potty trained really easily. And then with my other 2, I just didn't want to have more than one child in diapers. So that was
it's
the
so
urge.
expensive.
Forget being expensive.
And
it's
work.
gross.
Yeah, it's gross. It's a lot of work.
When you're
It's really gross.
when you're a mild germaphobe like me, having someone carrying around extra liquids, no, we're okay.
Yeah, we do the thing at our house where like I got the last one. I got the one before that and it was terrible, you know. We're my wife and I are constantly comparing our trials as
You're trying to outdo each other. Like,
Yeah.
I needed 14 wipes. What did you need?
any terrible thing that has happened to us becomes a token bartering chip in the who has to change the next diaper.
Or the one that I would love is like when I would tell Bud, I'm like, well, I actually had to take him into the shower, you know? That's like the heavy hitters. But, you know, as people are asking about that, I just remember that Lisa gave us a little primer a few months ago about potty training. And she did something not unlike camping where she like really went old school and it's like an open air technique. It's a 3-day program.
3 days?
Yes.
Back to back?
And it's really easy, too. Maybe we should just listen to the podcast and see what it's all about.
All right, let's hear it.
She's completely potty trained at preschool, but she's not at home. You tell me if it's two different personalities. I'm like, really? No accidents today? They're like, no. And I'm like, seriously? I'm like, I look at Allie, and then she's like, so can I poop in my underwear? Like, no, you can't. She's having a hard time letting go.
She asked permission.
She's being funny. She's being funny. She knows she's not supposed to, you know? And I'm like, I know I'm not supposed to poop in my... She likes to poop in her underwear. That's kind of the negotiations we're going through right now.
Oh,
a lot of...
gosh.
Yeah.
You would think that that would be really uncomfortable.
She doesn't care. That's what made potty training so hard. She doesn't care. We did the whole Code Red like about 2 months ago. Code Red, take her out, put her underwear on so she's wet and she's uncomfortable. Nope. She just was uncomfortable for a while. She'd either be uncomfortable for a while and didn't care, so she wouldn't tell us, or she would tell us she needs to go potty right after she peed in her pants because that would make me change her underwear, So she was very...
I don't know what Code Red is. What's Code Red?
Oh, Code Red is the 3-day boot camp potty training that people like me when you have kids over 3 do. So
wow.
basically, for 3 days you have her at home, keep her in her underwear, or Nangu Pungu, which Nangu Pungu means, naked. Mm-hmm. And that's what we did. We did Nangu Pungu for 3 days, and that works well. The Nangu Pungu works well because she's really good at holding it. The teacher's like, she can hold it on commit, no problem. The UTI becomes an issue, but she ends up releasing it. Anyway, she's fine now. She'll go on the potty. Only thing is I'm not able to separate the potty from a reward. So every time, I want a lollipop. And I was like, you're not getting a lollipop every time you potty now. So we got to think of something else. So just to teach her it's the norm now. It's not reward-based all the time. She needs to just go in the potty, period.
That is so interesting. Okay, very cool.
Yeah, she's in pull-ups nap time and nighttime, but that's it right now. So.
Do they have like a Code Blue, which is like a CrossFit potty training?
No,
This
that's
is really
funny. I actually we just called it Code Red. I don't know what it actually is, 3-day boot camp. But it didn't even work for us that well. It just slowly worked. She started, it slowly worked. For her, it was potty training rewiring. That's what I told her teacher. She gets it. She just likes to go in her pull-up. That's all. She likes it. She just likes it. I kind of get it. I mean, if I could go in my Depends, I'd go. But anyway.
So. See, I wouldn't. But, this is how you know kids are different because Bhavneet who is my oldest, was the easiest to potty train. And she potty trained around a year. And I
know,
I
you
was
told
really
me.
hesitant to think that it was
Yeah.
real. I was like, maybe this is just like a stage. And because everyone was like,
Right.
no way, impossible. People were
Yeah.
like, that can't be possible, whatever. But she did
Right.
really quickly. And then we went to India, our first trip to India. She was 3. And it was my first trip to India, essentially, too. I think I'd gone when I was 3 or 4 as well. Didn't remember anything. And she went into the bathroom. And you know how the bathrooms in India are. You have to squat. They're actually cleaner than a public toilet, in my opinion, if you look at the germ level.
Because you're not touching anything.
But it is an overwhelming experience, right? Because people don't have the best aim and things happen in the bathrooms in India. And we go in and she goes, and we go in and she's just like, no, I don't have to go anymore. It went back in. And she just turned around and I was like, that's you should go. You can't hold it. And she was like, no, I can hold it. I'm fine. And I was like, oh my gosh. And Budham had said to me, she has your genes, your germaphobe genes. So some kids just have it. And Allie clearly doesn't.
No, she doesn't care.
No, she doesn't. So she's more genetically fit to live in the world that we live in now because being a germaphobe is not a good thing.
I'm the opposite, too. Honestly, I think I used to be better. Now, ever since Alyssa, I'm like, whatever. Samir and I both. We're just... I don't know why. I guess because I don't see the bacteria. So it's not like I'm dirty. I'll wash my hands obviously after the bathroom and all, but I'm definitely not a germaphobe. So
Yeah. All right, Lisa, well, let me know more about how the potty training journey goes. And if you decide to start up like a trademark, some type of like code red, code blue, I think
I should.
I think you could like work an exercise regimen into the potty training plan. That's totally up your alley, and it would be
funny.
useful.
That is funny. That's a good video. It's a good video idea. We could start with yellow, which would be you before 1, but then we go to code red for me. So.
And then there needs to be a code brown for like kids who have accidents, and the dads don't want to clean up the mess, so they just end up throwing their clothes away and buying new clothes. That's a real story I'll tell you about another time.
Okay, yeah, you tell me next time. And I'm on it. I'm gonna start writing this down for either a video or like a little blog. It's funny.
Oh,
it's
awesome. Good. Okay, cool. So now our listeners,
right.
Once it's done, we can tell our listeners about where to find your completed video, so they can kind of connect all the dots. And we will thank everyone for listening today. And thank you, Lisa. I always love starting my mornings off talking with you about adventures in parenting. All right, that's it. Thanks for listening to It's Your Time to Shine.